ancient systems that interfered and that robbed bloodlines. Bloodlines. When someone rapes a girl, he has raped a bloodline. Has raped a bloodline. Not a person, a bloodline. And what they've taken from those bloodlines is the wealth you see in them. So these bloodlines remain poor and become their slaves because they have robbed the bloodline. You know what I'm saying? It will help you be careful. Deception, many of you want to believe that everyone who says Lord, Lord, Lord is a good person. There's a deception. People want you to believe that they cannot do anything against you. There's a deception that you want to believe that this one is different from others. Is different. But how do you know it's not different? So you better watch because you're in warfare. You are in battle. You know what I'm saying? It will help you be careful. It will help you to be unpredictable. Amen. Listen to something very important about warfare. Now listen to what I'm going to say. Sorcery is not in the air. Sorcery enters the bloodline. That's why you are seeing the kings of the world and the merchants fornicate with Babylon. Do you hear me? In fornication, sorcery comes into their bloodline. Are you getting what I'm talking about? Now, because they have traded with that spirit together with other spirits and they access treasures which you've refused to access, you find that treasures and wealth now becomes an issue of their lineage. Jesus, someone has not got it. Through sorcery, they covenanted with Babylon, with Satan, and he came in their bloodline, gave them trade with him, and they got wealth. Because it's the bloodline, that wealth becomes in their bloodline. So they pass to their children and their children's children and their children's children. Then it becomes a family business. It's in the lineage. Okay? It's a what? So for you to fight it, you have to know how to enter bloodlines. Now we're talking. What you're fighting is not in the air. Someone to kill is not killing because it's in the air, it's in the blood. The witchcraft is in the blood. And they have the children. And they continue to initiate others in that blood. Everyone they initiate is a destiny captured. Every bloodline they go in, they dismantle their systems and access the wealth systems of the bloodline. So their work through sorcery is to enter bloodlines and dismantle wealth systems and rob bloodlines. Oh my God. Let me talk to somebody. Did you hear the statement? They are wealthy because they rob bloodlines. They are rulers because they have robbed many bloodlines. And what they've taken from those bloodlines is the wealth you see in them. So these bloodlines remain poor and become their slaves because they have robbed the bloodline. You better pray tonight. You better pray tonight. Because you do not know what has been robbing. your bloodline for thousands of years. That's why you find one family for thousands of years, they are rulers and rich. Others continue to be slaves because this family keeps robbing bloodlines. They have attained esoteric knowledge, secret knowledge of how to enter secretly in the back door of bloodlines and rob them. And the people of the bloodlines that have been robbed become powerless and sell themselves as slaves to those who have robbed their bloodlines. What a service. What a service. Some of you think that man, that guy, that to rape your daughter or to rape you was about lust. Of sorcery, rape bloodlines. When someone rapes a girl, he has raped a bloodline. Has raped a bloodline. Not a person, a bloodline. Has violated the gates of a bloodline. Because every virgin is a gate in a bloodline. By raping you, has violated the gate, broken the wall, and entered the bloodline by force. Because as entered by force, takes every treasure in our bloodline, and the rest of your children will be slaves of the bloodline that raped your bloodline. That's why Simeon and his brother had to kill everyone who raped their daughter, their sister. Because they knew that man had violated and entered the bloodline. It was not just a rape when they raped that girl, the daughter of Jacob. It was that bloodline. Because there was an issue in the days of Abraham. So that issue was not sorted out. So later years, people of that bloodline, rapes, find a way of re-entering the bloodline using the daughter of Jacob. I don't know if you've ever removed those who illegally entered your bloodline and have robbed you for generations. For generations, many bloodlines are empty. You marry how you've married an empty person. Nothing. They were robbed for generations. Every child born is already a slave. Because the bloodline was robbed. The wealth systems were violated, dismantled. They destroyed the systems through which you make wealth. And therefore you cannot make wealth until you are able to dislodge the alien in the bloodline and then reconstruct the wealth systems of the bloodline. Many of you are just praying instead of learning how to reconstruct. The Bible talks about you are the rebuilder of the breaches. Rebuilding, reconstructing the wealth system of my bloodline that was violated, dismantled, and destroyed. You are not just praying. You are rebuilding a system. You cannot have wealth, you cannot have power without a system. And that system was dismantled, violated, broken, shattered, paralyzed. Because it has many alien structures tapping into the stream of the bloodline. Many, where they are tapping illegally into your bloodline and taking away virtues. You work and someone prospers. You work and someone is promoted in your place. That's the robbery in the bloodline. You work so much, but someone gets rich. Why? Because of the robbery in the bloodline. Can you ask your neighbor, how is your bloodline? And I'm telling you, they will tell you to just believe and sing. I was born again, forever born again. I'm going to heaven. Heaven is good. You know we are born again. You know salvation. They tell you that while secretly they go into bloodline systems and change the destiny of nations and change your family. Well, they tell you to just believe and have faith. And they will tell you, don't listen to those people talking about bloodlines. We are born again. Don't go into that. Listen. Listen. You are a person that God has spared to rebuild the system in the bloodline. You didn't hear what I'm talking about. The affliction you see, the infirmity, it was not there. It came from somewhere. Someone brought it in the bloodline, planted it, constructed it to become a bloodline sickness so that no child can prosper because their minds, their souls are interfered with and are destroyed. It was deliberate. These disorders were introduced deliberately through drugs, through traumas, through abuse, through different things, with the purpose of destroying the structures of wealth in bloodlines. Because every time the structure of your bloodline is interfered with, the blueprint is hidden. Meaning no one can read it. Your people cannot find the prophetic blueprint of the bloodline because of the interferences. So scrolls and books of families are hidden until you appear to say, here I am, it's written about me in the book. I am here to do your will, because sacrifices and offering you did not require. Do you hear what I'm talking about today? Am I talking to you? Are you ready to pray? To deal with the robbery. Those that robbed your bloodline. Those that robbed us as a nation, as a tribe, as a race, as a continent. They did not come with guns. They came with sorcery and robbed bloodlines. And today there are many empty bloodlines. Very empty. Whatever you produce ends in someone's bloodline. Whatever you produce ends in someone's life. Because you were violated. The gates were broken. Until you begin this journey of rebuilding, reconstructing the gates of the bloodline. As long as the gates are still broken, as long as someone possesses the gate of your bloodline, whatever you produce will be robbed until you take back the gates. Until you know which gates and what are the gates and how to take them and how to dislodge, evict the alien system that interferes with the frequency of your bloodline. Amen. Amen. Are you ready to pray? I said through sorcery, they entered bloodlines. And you need to know how. Because listen to something. They are not only spiritual, but also the genes themselves. Genetic entanglement that cause errors in the chromosomes. Some things were programmed to cause your system to error. The food you were fed, think is good food. Some things were programmed by what they fed you. You kept eating until your system erred. They stopped you eating the right food and they gave you modified food. to modify your DNA. And generation to come, something has been corrupted and twisted. You know, there are things that interfered with your morals as a bloodline. The morality of your bloodline was violated. You didn't hear me. Can I teach something here? Through sorcery, the attack was the morality of your bloodline. You became killers. You became haters. You became thieves. And your soul, the moral, began to be corrupted. And because of that, you know, every time someone kills, even the killer dies. Death, both the killer and the killed experience death. But only the killer bear death as is living. And that death comes into the system, passed to their children. Death has not only happened to the one killed, but even the one that has killed. And now that death becomes a way of accessing bloodlines, because now death is a power. So death continues. Amen. I think you need a course in bloodline engineering. I think you need a course, bloodline engineering, to engineer bloodlines again. I'm talking about gates. If your gates were violated and broken, you have to return to rebuild them and rebuild systems of wealth in the bloodline. How do we build systems of wealth in bloodlines? That's the question. But before we build, how do we destroy the alien systems that interfered and that robbed bloodlines? Can we have a break? Yeah. I'm a teacher. I understand how people learn. And